So, hello there, beautiful people. This is behind-the-scenes commentary for the latest episodes of Scam School. We're looking at episode 265. Holy crap, have we really done 265 of these things? This is the one where we actually learn how to use your brain. And I mean in a good way, not in a fake way. By the way, for those of you guys wondering, today I'm drinking tea. That's right, I said tea, because the TV project, the same TV project that I sold out to the man on and have started wearing my hair like a normie, like a boring old grandfather. Hello, it's me, your grandfather, Brian. I'm here to show you a trick or two. That project apparently is moving forward, and allegedly we may be shooting something in June, which means I have 2 months to drop 10 pounds. And yes, it was 10 pounds. Like, I went to work. Like, I was full on, like, openly hostile to my body for a long time and drank a lot of beer. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, crap, I'm doughy now. So I'm trying to drop 10 pounds in 2 months. If any of you guys have any advice, just post your advice down below. Also, I definitely signed up for a triathlon. So if you were hoping that you could hear stories of Brian trying to do a triathlon, that's coming soon. All right, so this episode, first of all, Eric Diddleman is an amazing, amazing person. He wrote me, as many of you guys do in the Scam School audience, when he was first getting started, asking for advice on how to book shows. He is a great, great guy. Of course, most of you guys know him because he appeared on America's Got Talent, did a fantastic job. But this thing right here, when he proposed to me what he wanted to share with us, I was just like, holy crap, that's amazing. And apparently this is written up in Corinda's, was it 13 Steps to Mentalism? It's an old technique. It's based on the idea that you can make a list of things. You can associate two things together. In this case, we're associating a number with the item with highly visual methods. I first came across this in, oh, Jesus. I want to say it was back in the 90s with what is now regarded to be pretty much a scam product from Kevin Trudeau. His mega memory, that's what it was. Kevin Trudeau's mega memory was the first time I'd heard about this. Kevin Trudeau, look up, he's got an interesting history. He was actually banned by the FTC from selling products because they were all just scams. And so finally, all he does is sell books now because, like, books are, you know, hey man, it's a book. You can't, it's free speech. You can't stop me from selling a book. But anyway, part of the reason his Mega Memory course sold, and it promised things like, you know, and keep in mind, all of this is my opinion if you're watching Kevin Trudeau, but it would make all these claims about improving your memory for a billion different things that it couldn't necessarily live up to. But the part of it that was real was this, talking about the value of mnemonics. It took you through an exercise where you would, you know, do essentially what we do on this episode, and that was supposed to be proof of why the rest of the system worked. And the rest of the system, you know, whatever, didn't work. The whole thing is, this system actually does work because it involves you. We are visual beings that have a difficult time remembering the difference between that which is vividly imagined and that which actually happened. So, as a matter of fact, it's a problem. This is a great moment, by the way. I'm so happy with how Eric came across in this episode. So here's what happens, and I'm going to do my best to remember the books that I've read. But basically, every time you remember a thing, essentially, you are rewriting your memories. This is why, if you've ever had, how many of you guys have had the experience at home where your mom and dad remember something happening one way, but you remember it totally different, right? Or likewise, how many guys have had that where it's like you watch one of your all-time favorite movies and there's a scene that you always quote, like it's your favorite scene and you love to use that line on everyone, and it gets to that scene, and then when the DVD plays it, like they say it wrong. And all of a sudden you realize that for years you've been saying the wrong memory. Well, the reason is because every time you remember something, you essentially rewrite this narrative. And that's why you could do things like if you vividly imagine, this is one of the exercises that they do, imagine that you have what do you call it, a lemon in front of you, right? You cut it open. As you break it apart, you see a mist of lemon juice flick up in front of you, and you've got those little kind of like barbed, choppy edges, and you come back and you just bite full on into the lemon, and you feel it explode in your mouth. The juice, it hits the back of your, back by your lymph nodes or whatever those are, and all of a sudden you could just feel your mouth full of lemon juice. Now, if you're anything like me, in this moment right now, like I full on have a mouthful of I felt just by visualizing biting into a lemon, my mouth filled with saliva. That's because the mind has a hard time differentiating between that which is vividly imagined versus that which is actually happening. And so likewise, what you do with this, apologize for this thing freezing up right there for no reason. So what you do with these lists is by essentially writing a visual narrative, you tie the number and the item together in a way that is meaningful to you, that allows you to access without having to remember. Normally when you remember stuff, you try to go back to the conversation and you try to remember what you said. And the problem is you just have a visual image of you there in the conversation, and you just... you can't access whatever it was you said because that wasn't an important part of the narrative. By using the method that you're about to learn here, the mnemonics, you craft a picture to where when you access just a single part of it, it instantly fills in the rest. And you're like, oh, of course, yes, that's exactly what it is. By the way, this is no lie. Like, seriously, I'm done watching movies anywhere except for at home or at the Alamo Drafthouse. The Alamo Drafthouse is the best thing on planet Earth. Beers, gourmet pizzas, themed events. They clearly a tremendous respect for presentation. It's amazing. They're great. All right, so here we go. So I'm about to explain this stuff here.
When you describe this, like there were techniques that you could instantly apply that you could at least get partway through there, like tonight.
Part of the reason I phrased it this way is because it's important on Scam School that every episode we have something that you can use today. We're not about like, well, here's how a thing's done. Now practice a billion times and maybe someday you'll get to do it. Like, we want everything to be something usable. And the fact that, like, you can see the genuine, I said genuine, that's my word, patented, genuine, Brian, a genuine amazement on my face as we're able to figure out these. Now, I love the fact that we actually encourage the viewer to play along with us at home at this point, to go through. One gun, two shoe, three tree, four whore,
I use door, I think four might be.
Five hive, right? And it's amazing. Like, I still remember this. We shot this 3-4 weeks ago.
Magicians here, tricks.
6 chicks or tricks? I'd probably go with chicks if I was doing this.
7, heaven. 8, I use bait, like fishing bait.
Maybe date.
That's a version of bait. 9, wine.
That was a masturbation joke. Hope you enjoyed that one.
To me really quickly in my head, so whenever
I should point out that that we're actually in HD. Look at this, 720p, right in your filthy face hole. Part of that is that we're making some upgrades to this studio here, which, by the way, I should take a moment. All of this is made possible by the donation from the fine folks over at Doghouse Systems. DoghouseSystems.com. They do boutique high-end PCs, and they hooked me up with this one, and they gave me our own promo code. So SHWOOD, SHWOOD. At checkout, you'll get the same box art that I have, and you'll get an actual like $100 worth of loot from Scam Stuff. But part of the upgrades that we've done is we've mounted these cameras. Look at that. What? So the camera's mounted on a bar, I guess, extending out from the wall, which means it used to be like every time I would hit this stuff. Also, we switched over to Wirecast, and so that we're able to do 720p now. Okay, so this is the important thing. Follow these associations and actually play along here, because I thought this was pretty good.
Already in your head. So, for example, if we start with 1, it's gun, and now call out an object. Beer. So now you're trying to make as absurd or risque or just crazy image.
And it is important that it be insane. It's got to be something
immediately
that
forget it.
is so interesting that your mind won't want to let go of
You
it.
wouldn't just picture a beer laying next to a gun. You'd be like, all right, there's a gun next to a beer.
Right.
Then one guy drops the gun into a beer, and someone gets so mad that he takes it and uses it as a silencer and like shoots him 5 times, and then he drinks from his bloody hand the beer that remains, and is like, screw you.
We're learning a lot about you.
This episode here, actually, like all that talk about like with the crazy scenarios, if you dig that, you probably want to give a try to us on NSFW, which we record every Tuesday night. And of course, I live stream from here at justin.tv/scamschoolbrian. And let me just say, there's somebody out there, some of you guys are watching this for the very first time, and you're Scam School fans, and that's great. I love Scam School fans. But there's a whole other galaxy of Brian Brushwood-related content that you could be watching right now. I host like 7 different shows on the internet. Of course, Scam School is far and away the most popular, but you know, it's well produced. We go on location and all this stuff. But this studio space right here, this is where we do NSFW every Tuesday night. Host the Weird Things podcast sporadically. I host a Frame Rate with Tom Merritt, where we talk about the whole idea of cutting the cord and watching when you want what you want whenever you feel like it. I'm a regular panelist on This Week in Tech, and there's other stuff as well that my brain is a little bit melty right now. But the important thing is that all of this stuff, I usually am good about tweeting this out. If you do the Twitter thing, I mean, I obviously plug my Twitter every single show, but like no bullshit, man. I put some good content out there on that. And same with all of the other social media, or just go to justin.tv/scamschoolbrian and you can subscribe, and theoretically every time we go live you'll receive an email and be able to watch us live in studio, doing everything from playing video games with my kids to giving commentary on Scam School stuff just like this.
Yeah, that worked. 6, we're thinking of magic tricks, hats. Pulling a rabbit out of a hat. So what's
Syphilis.
Let's do syphilis.
That's about right. Tricky to picture.
How would you visualize?
You would have to just come up with what you think syphilis looks like.
Let's do Al Capone, who died of syphilis.
Okay, that
so
works
we'll picture Al Capone dying of syphilis, saying, "Now pick a card,"
or even pulling him out of a hat. That would be absurd as well.
Yeah, that image definitely stuck with me.
I'm gonna do a trick you can't refuse.
7. What do you got? Cue ball. Now we might.
So this is what was amazing to me is, you know, Eric came over and told me what he wanted to do.
Oh, I'm really not that good.
I just totally took it on faith. I'm like, I'm sure it'll be great. Was totally amazed at how well it worked. When we get to the actual answer phase and the testing part, like you can see the utter delight on our faces as we figure out that holy crap, this is easy and I can picture it and I do remember all this stuff. An alternate version of this, now in this case we used, like, he has his list of 20, 1 gun, 2 shoe, 3 tree, and so on. You can also do a body list, which is you know, picture your toes, picture your ankles, your shin, your knees, your quads, your crotch level, your gut, basically separate into 10 different parts of the body. And then what you could do is you could picture, like if you're going to go to the grocery store and you want to remember 10 different items, you would picture, okay, the first is bacon. So I'm going to picture my toes in bacon. So I'm going to imagine my toes are made of bacon. Or better yet, I'm going to picture bacon with all my toes walking along going like that, right? And it walks across my toes. And then second thing is eggs. Is you know, so you think of your ankles, you think of eggs. So imagine you've got eggs in your ankles, and then you jump up, and just like that scene from South Park, you land, and your egg ankles just explode horrifically. You know, and then your shins and so on. You go on through the whole body. So there, as you draw these very vivid images in your mind, you just go through the body parts, and you're able to instantly think of the various items that you're supposed to be remembering. So there is an actual upside. Like, my amazement is genuine as I'm like, holy crap, it's Scam School and we're giving you an actually valuable life lesson, which is amazing to me. So here we go. So how many of you guys, tell me honestly, this is my question for you guys down in the comments here. Did you guys play along with this and did it work? And how many were you able to get?
Al Capone's
let's
with
do
syphilis.
10.
10, wait, 10, the peg is...
Lime!
Is
Yes.
pen, which is lime. Okay, got it.
Nice one.
Wow, you got
2.
Unicorn.
Unicorn, yep,
Yep.
all right. Oh, you're good. Now it's a contest.
7.
7 heaven,
Cue ball.
Cue ball.
Yep. Got it. 4.
Fan.
Yep. Fan.
Oh, it wasn't horror?
Because you're thinking of the door.
My favorite
the
of all
doors.
of these
One.
was the Hell's Angels for number 5.
Gun is the peg. Beer is correct.
What if I get the pegs? Does that matter?
That's the one that's supposed to be easy.
Right. 5.
Hell's Angels.
8.
Lindsay Lohan.
Cadillac, because
Yes.
we were fishing off the pier. We totally got it, yeah.
And lastly, 9.
Lindsay Lohan.
That's correct. And you guys got all 10.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's rare that we have a trick like this that is so clearly
thing we've ever done on Scam.
beneficial.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun. Eric's a really, really good guy. You guys
No
should
lie,
definitely
out
check
of
him out.
everything we've taught on Scam School, this has one of the highest pain to glory ratios out there. With just a little bit of effort, coming up with a kooky story and a mental image, you're going to remember these things for weeks on
I love these
end.
people in the
20
background
items
like,
is a huge
uh-oh,
amount.
what's going
Once you
on?
make these little mental pegs, you're going to be able to blow your friends' minds with remembering names, dates, stuff to do, grocery lists, you name it. So we want to give a huge, huge thanks to Eric Diddleman for joining us. Make sure to check him out. And don't forget to follow the show here, twitter.com/scamschool or twitter.com/schwood. And don't forget to follow me for behind the scenes
Yeah, dude, no
commentary.
lie.
break
I really
down all
do
of the
read.
episodes right
People
after
ask me all the
shooting at
time
youtube.com/schwood.com,
about where to send stuff and
all
ideas,
spelled out. It's
and
right
it's
there.
like,
Just
how
click on
about
the
the
link.
email address I
You and your
give?
best
I really do
friends.
read
Don't
all of
forget
that
to
stuff.
suggest your favorite bar scams by
YouTube
rating
comments are a little bit harder to read, especially the older ones,
And
because you have
next
to
week,
go.
you're not gonna wanna
You have to
miss it.
actively
We are
go
going
and
to be
seek them
meeting
all out.
Stan Lee, who will
But
teach us how to
email.
shoot lasers from your
Definitely read
eyes,
all of that. Same
provided
thing
you
with
know how to
Twitter.
draw a comic book
Facebook, not so
version of
much.
yourself.
But
Just
email and Twitter,
apparently the
you and
whole
I can
secret
actually
is just
talk
draw 2
one-to-one.
lines and then color them red. It's really, you know what? I would just skip that one.
So one thing I think we're going to start doing in future episodes is, we're still very much modeling old school television by having traditional credits right here. It's clear that, we live in a YouTube world, and it seems like we should end with like a subscribe button and links to other Scam School episodes. So if that's the case, this is my question to you guys. What would you like to see for other episodes to link to for Scam School? What are some of your all-time favorites if we're going to go back and look at those? Love you guys. You guys are amazing. Make sure to dive into the BB universe. There's a lot in here for you. See you.